Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sischa Putri Hutami, student number 070. So here I would like to explain my answer for the final exam of Lexico Grammar. So there are 6 points that I have to explain. The first one is called multidimensional semiotic system. So, the point of departure for Halliday's work in linguistics has been the simple question, how does language work? Across his career, he has probed the nature of language as a social semiotic system that is as a research for meaning across the many of constantly changing contexts of human interaction. And as an example, there are two clauses, and they were taken respectively from political party speeches by Blair and Clegg. So, Blair on 1995 said that I wasn't born into this party. I choose it, and I've never joined another political party. And Clegg on 2007 said that, like most people of my generation, I wasn't born into a political party. I am a liberal by choice, by temperament, and by conviction. Well, these clauses are clearly very similar. However, with closer examination, we can get a better understanding of the meaning that are expressed. Both speakers function as subject and as theme to create text and relevance, thereby grounding what is being said. The second point is called paradigmatic dimension. While in the paradigmatic dimension, each word we choose in a sentence comes from a vast set of possible words. And for example, the sentence, the cow jumped over the moon, and this is syntagmatic, together from one meaning, but you could replace cow with another word in the column, and this is what called paradigmatic, to form a different sentence with a different meaning, such as the fish jumped over the moon. The third point is called stratification dimension. So Weber develops a multidimensional approach to stratification. He thinks that the economic position and class affiliation are not the only dominants in the society that determine the system of social stratification. According to Weber, the different position of the individuals and groups in the social space stems not only from the ownership relations, but also from the relation to power as well as the level of social prestige. For examples, on that basis, he introduces three primary dimensions of stratification. The first one is called class or economic position. The second one is party or power, and the third one is status or prestige. The fourth point is called metafunctional dimension. So Halliday developed a theory of the fundamental functions of language, in which he analyzed lexical grammar into three broad metafunctions: ideational, interpersonal, and textual. Each of three metafunctions is about a different aspect of the world and is concerned with the different mode of meaning of clauses. Well, for example, in the textual metafunction, a clause is analyzed into theme and rhyme. and it's taken from Matheson on 1991, shows an analysis of the sentence. In this job, Anne were working with silver into three different structures in the three metafunctions. So this kind of analysis is called a metafunctional layering, but the metafunctions don't have any kind of relative depth, rather they are different dimension. The fifth point is called syntagmatic dimension. So the syntagmatic dimension refers to the stringing together of elements in time. In language, formation of a sentence occurs as we place word after word along the syntagmatic dimension. In the paradigmatic dimension, each word we choose in a sentence comes from a vast set of possible words. For example, if we begin the sentence, the lizard crawled over to the blah blah blah, what comes next is chosen from the set of possible words taken from the paradigmatic dimension. As Manoich describes it, elements in the syntagmatic dimensions are related in presentia, while elements in the paradigmatic dimension are related in absentia. Thus, syntax is explicit and paradig is implicit. One is real and one other is imagined. The last point is called instantiation dimension. Well, according to Michael Halliday, instantiation is the relation between an instance and the system that lies behind it. It is based on memory and is a feature of all systemic behavior. The kind of instantiation has two poles. At one end is instance, and at the other is the system, the whole potential to which the instance relates. In the study of language and other phenomena, including other semiotic phenomena, what can be observed is an instance of an underlying potential. For examples, Halliday borrows the distinction between weather and climate to explain the relation. So the weather can be observed day by day, and over time a picture of a climate is built up. Weather and climate are not distinct phenomena, but different perspectives on the same phenomenon. And the second example is the notion of kind of instantiation, reconciles the distinction between langue and parole, made by Ferdinand de Saussure, a separation maintained by Noam Chomsky, who renamed them competence and performance. While Halliday argues that this dichotomy has done considerable harm to linguistics as a discipline. So that's all about my answer, the 6th point of the final exam of Lexico Grammar. Thank you.